Well, it's April 1st today. I am on the Bonneville Shoreline Trail. The last time I was here was about 12 days ago, so not a whole lot of time, but ain't a whole lot of trails I can do this time of year, so let's see what we find. It's a pretty sunny day. It was a change from the last two, which were kind of rainy and cold, which is nice. And the whole mountainside is a lot more green, like the grasses are clearly growing a lot more, which is pretty nice. But there's still not a whole lot of flowering plants just yet that are blooming. As so many of the other forests around here that I filmed so far have been, this is another Quercus gambelii dominated forest. A nice understory of Berberis repens. Some of them have actually been blooming recently. I'll try and find some of those if I can. Oh, like right here. You can just barely see the yellow flowers coming up there. But I've seen some that are more in bloom than that. I'll try and find them. I am so damn paranoid about the possibility of running into a mountain lion on these trails. Those leaves rustling I heard were just a bird I found out, but man, it scared me a bit. I just figured hiking out alone, running into a mountain lion, my life would be over, just like that. You better have a really good video afterwards. So as we move around the mountain right now, we're getting onto the north side, where it's less sunlight, so moisture is retained more easily, and we're getting some white fir as a result. They like and as well as a lot of conifers in general in the mountains, like the wetter, cooler slopes. So yeah, we'll be seeing that a bit more towards the end of the trail. Well, damn, I just found this young Pseudotsuga menziesii, or Douglas fir, that the top of its tree is kind of messed up. I don't know what happened to it. Some insects got to it, but it's probably dead, it seems like. Yeah, we scraped the bark back. It's brown. If it was still alive, it'd be green underneath. Like, I'll do a little test, just a demonstration. You can see it's a bit green right where my thumbnail just was. So yeah, hopefully the plant survives. At least other branches do. Kind of interesting that this whole forest seems pretty stunted, I guess. Not even really a forest, basically. It's like a shrubland. You know, a lot of the plants here are definitely young Quercus gambelii, so it should be more of like a forest. Makes me wonder if there was a burn here some time ago, perhaps. This has been a really strong wind though, for there to not be any like standing dead trees, I guess. Or maybe just that much time has passed already. I don't know. Alright, so I found this pretty cool clearing in the forest, like this little meadow, a lot of rocks in it, some trees. Found some interesting plants here. This is a Cercocarpus ledifolius, which on its own isn't that interesting, but there's a nice little bird's nest there, which I do appreciate. And also I found a few of these guys, this little like lily looking thing popping up. I'm gonna guess it's a Toxicoscordion venenosum, which is also called death camas or meadow death camas. And yeah, as the name implies, they're quite toxic and you wouldn't want to eat these at all. I'm not entirely sure that's what it is though. I'll have to come back and check later, because I'm only basing this on the fact that it's a lily and it looks quite different from some of the other ones I found around here. So yeah, we'll have to see, but that's what I'm gonna put my money on really quick. Got the name of this plant wrong actually. It's not venenosum, it's venenosum. Whatever, it doesn't matter that much. You get the point. There's a few of them though, they're coming up right here. And again, I'm not entirely sure if that's what it is, but that's what I'm gonna guess for right now. I also found this little guy right here, which I got no idea what it is. Just come out underneath this rock. It's got the sheathing leaves that are kind of forked, so maybe it's a member of Apiaceae, but I got no idea for sure, to be honest. Oh, maybe I'll find out one day. Bit of a cut right here, but I finally found myself in this nice mixed conifer and deciduous tree forest, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure what these shrubs right here that are leafless are. They look pretty cool. At first I thought maybe sambucus, but they're not. They don't have the right branches and they have different flowers I can see that are dead from years past. That though is definitely Populus tremuloides, or quaking aspen, which is a pretty important and major tree species in really all the Rockies and West. But this is a pretty low elevation for it to occur at, which is a little cool. Although they do sometimes, like along rivers like this one, will occur further in elevation than they otherwise would. Wow, that water looks really clear and clean and disgusting at the same time. It probably would be safe to drink though, I think. Most creeks are actually pretty safe, but you just gotta use your common sense. That being said, don't quote me if that goes wrong. Okay, so here we have another classic evergreen angiosperm of the Wasatch. This is Ceanothus velutinus, also known as snowbush, presumably because it's got its leaves all year round. Anyways, it's a member of the family Ramnaceae, and one of the characteristics of that family is they have these 3-lobed fruit that are very prominent. And you can see here, this isn't the fruit, this is where they were attached to, and the little cup things got these free sections to them. So yeah, it's pretty indicative of Ramnaceae. And it was never indicative feature of it. It's not totally universal, is that they got these serrated leaves, which you can kind of see right there. Like yeah, there's not like smooth margins, they are serrated. And otherwise, I guess the flowers, if you may find them later in the year, they got 4 or 5 petals, 4 or 5 sepals, and 4 or 5 stamens, with the petals and sepals alternate each other, but the stamens opposite to the petals. So that's how it generally works with that family. Yeah, there they are. Some of them seem to have lost their leaves for some reason, but I'm not sure why that is. Anyways, let's go on. I have a really quick update, I suppose. I found that the footage on my phone is not as good as I thought it would be from that last video, so that's a bit unfortunate. But yeah, maybe I'll just get a good camera regardless of anyone watching my content. I tried using this app Seek on the plant, I'm guessing it's a Toxicoscordion back there, but it couldn't get past monocot. Like that's the closest it could get to actual species level, which is pretty bad. Like there's 70,000 different monocots out there, so the fact that it couldn't identify it past that point is kind of indicative of the app. I mean, it can be really useful at times if you have a flower, but without it, it's like you can do nothing with it basically. Like if a botanist that already knows what they're looking at, similar to the local flora, would probably be able to say what that is, like down to species level. Oh well. Really, Seek, it's really good at times, like impressive, but other times it's really overrated. Like it's like they say it's like 98% accurate on the app page for downloading it, but it's like, as my experience, it's like maybe 50% accurate, although it's more accurate to the species level, or genus level I should say at least. The species level it's like 50%, maybe genus it's more like 80 or 90 or even more than that perhaps. But yeah, it's not a surefire way to identify plants like it tries to advertise itself. I'm seeing a few of these plants too, which are fairly good size, but I got no idea what it is at all. Like I have no clues. So again, never will have to come back in a few weeks for it. All right, coming back to another plant where I'm not entirely sure what it is, but I'm guessing it's either a Vicia or Lathyus. It's like clearly a vining member of the pea family, Apiaceae. So yeah, but I'm gonna wait till the flowers to see exactly what it is, but that's pretty cool. I didn't know we occurred this far down in elevation. You like how green the mountains are this time of year? This is the rainy season indeed, and yeah, like right now, like probably more like mid or late April will be greener, and then all the way through May, like towards the beginning of June is when it will really stop being green, this low in elevation in the mountains, but it will still remain green quite high up in the mountains at least. So yeah, I mean, I was gonna find any other plants to talk about, so I'm gonna end the video right here. And so yeah, that's, once again, not a whole lot of stuff I found, but we're getting a little more. Just 2 more weeks. Mid-April is when I think we'll really start to have a ton of stuff I can actually talk about. What the hell, let's finish with something nice. This is some kind of Prunus species, like a cherry blossom tree. Or it's a cherry tree that is blossoming, I should say. That looks nice, but it's not native.